Okay, so in the middle of Perek Yutes, Mesillas Yesharim, which is talking about the midah of Chasidus, being a Chassid. So we discussed last week the idea of Chasidus vis-a-vis HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rabbi, can you close the bathroom door, please? So that was a person going with Nimishur said that the mitzvahs that Hashem commands us to do are, to an extent, just hints of what we're obligated to do. So it gives us the Rosh Prakim, it gives us the general outline of the Ratzon Hashem, of Hashem's will, but it's not a complete record of Hashem's will. We're supposed to look into the mitzvahs and figure out from them what does Hashem really want. So Chasidus is the examples we discussed last week from the Mesillas Yesharim were Amoraim or Tanoim taking one mitzvah and taking it to an extreme. We had Kiddush Hayom was one of them, where what was it, Zaka, I think it was, had his mother sell the Kippah Shibarosha. She sold her head one of her head coverings in order to allow him to buy wine for Kiddush Hayom. And we said it's wrong for a child to ask the parent to sell something. It's very selfish. It's not Chasidus, that's selfishness. But obviously she saw in her son his desire for that mitzvah, and on her own she felt, I have to do this. So the Gemara is telling us how he chose one mitzvah and he fulfilled that to the nth degree, and that's considered a level of Chasidus. In the next section of Perek Yutes, the Mesillas Yesharim discusses with the word chesed. What's a chassid? Where does that come from? From chesed.
Chesed in kono.
Right. Right. Or imabrius as well. A person does chesed. So the first we saw last week was mischased in kono, a person that does chesed with a Kadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, and then he takes the mitzvah to a very extreme degree, which is a good thing. And now he discusses gemilus chasad, and that's with people. That the word chassid comes from the chesed, and how chesed is the cornerstone of Chasidus is being a goyim chesed. And he goes on to quote 8 ma'amari Chazal, 8 sources in Chazal that show how chesed is the focal point of Yiddishkeit. His first one is the famous mission, the second mission in Perek Yavos. Al shloisha dvar ha'olam oimid. There are 3 pillars that the world was created upon. In other words, there are 3 reasons that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, and one of them is chesed, one of them is gemilus chasadim. So we see that for the world to sustain itself, the point of creation was chesed. So it's a central theme in the world itself. The first mission in Taya says that gemilus chasadim is one of those mitzvahs that a person gets the reward in this world. Most mitzvahs, the reward comes in the world to come. There are few mitzvahs that a person gets rewarded in this world, and chesed is one of those mitzvahs that a person can expect a reward in this world. That's number 2. Number 3 is the Gemara in Soita. Rabbi Shlomo darshans that the Torah begins with chesed and ends with chesed. It begins with chesed that Kadosh Baruch Hu made for Adam and Chava when they were embarrassed about them not being clothed. He made for them clothing. And it ends with chesed with the Kadosh Baruch Hu burying Moshe Rabbeinu. So the fact the Torah begins and ends with chesed shows that it's probably the central theme, or one of the central themes of the Torah is chesed. That's number 3. Number 4 is when it comes to the Jew. So we see when it comes to the world, it's one of the pillars of the world. When it comes to the Torah, it begins and ends with chesed. When it comes to the Jew, the Gemara brings a medrash that Rabbi darshan, Kol mi sheyesh bo shalosh midas halalu, whoever has one of these 3 midas, for sure he's the son of Avram Avinu. He comes from Avram Avinu, and that is a rachman, he has empathy, a baishan, he is, we say bush is embarrassment. It's not really embarrassment, it's the person has a certain understanding of how small he is and how great the Kadosh Baruch Hu is, so a certain level of humility, we'll say, and a goymel chasadim. So a person who's goymel chesed, it's biyadua, for sure, he is from Avram Avinu. So we see that it's essential for the Jew, it's one of the central attributes that the Jew has to have. And he goes on to say that gemilus chasadim is greater than tzedakah. It's a higher level than tzedakah. Tzedakah is just with money, chesed is with the guf, tzedakah is just with poor people, chesed can do with the rich person as well, tzedakah is only with people who are alive, and chesed one could do, a chesed shel emes, one could do chesed even with people who are no longer alive. So gemilus chasadim is on a higher level than chesed. What?
Tzedakah.
Then tzedakah, I'm sorry. It's higher level than tzedakah. Thank you, Manat. And then additionally, to make it a little bit selfish, which is good, we sometimes need a selfish motivation, that the Gemara in Shabbos says, "V'nosmecha rachamim v'richamcha," that Hashem will give you the midah of rachamim and then have rachmanas on you. And the Gemara goes on to say that if I am goyim chesed to others, then a Kadosh Baruch will be goyim chesed to me. So if I want Hashem to act with me with chesed, I don't deserve certain things, but I would like Hashem to please give me things that I don't deserve. And he goes on to say, we deserve nothing. So if a person wants anything, it's always going to be from chesed from Hashem. If a person wants to be zoich and din, wants to get through Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, the Yemei Adin, the days of judgment, wants to get through that and have a good year, it's all based on chesed. So if a person is mischased with other people, then a Kadosh Baruch will be mischased with him. And then he goes on to bring the last Mamar Chazal is regarding David HaMelech, Psukim in Tehillim, where David is saying that I was always going chesed to other people, even those who wanted to kill me, even Shaul, who wanted to kill me. I had the opportunity to kill him. He was hiding in the cave. And all I did was cut off the corner of his garment. That's all I did. I didn't kill him. So even with my enemies, I was going chesed. So we see that the importance of chesed. And then he goes on to say, included in the mitzvah of chesed is not to cause pain to any creature, even to animals. Your dad tzaddik knows his animal well. He knows how to treat his animals properly. And he says some hold that tzar bal chaim is deraisa, and it's derabanan. We discussed last week in the Shiur on Shabbos that according to many, tzar bal chaim is deraisa. One could learn that up in the Mechaber as well. And it's at least an issa derabanan not to treat animals in a negative way. Rabbi Yehuda Hamnasi, I think it was, had Yesharim for 13 years. Because when the animal was going to the Shrita, there was a sheep that was going to, or egel, there was a little calf going to Shrita, and it was scared. It knew where it was going, it was scared. So it ran and it hid under Rabbi Yehuda Nasi's coat. And it was crying. And he said to the animal, go to the Shrita, that's what you were created for. In other words, what is the best end an animal can meet? He's shechted and he ends up on a Jew's table for Shabbos. The animals of completely Gashmias ends up as a chelik of Oynik Shabbos is the best thing that could possibly happen. So he told the egel, he told the calf, go, that's what you were created for. And he was punished for 13 years of Yisur, and the Gemara Bava Metzia says, because he didn't have rachmanas on the animal. Not that he said anything wrong. He didn't cause pain to the animal, and he didn't, what he was saying was 100% correct. But not to have that empathy. There's a living creature here that's crying, that's about to be killed, and it wants to stay alive. So we know that it's a moral thing to kill the animal. The shepherd is a good thing. But not to have that rachmanis, he was punished for. And his Yisurin stopped when his maidservant was sweeping out the mice. And she was doing it in a way that was hurting them, and he told her, stop. The racham of al-kol masa. Kadosh Baruch has rachmanis on everyone, and don't sweep them out of the house like that. Pick him up and bring him out nicely. The Igros Moshe Paskin is based on that Gemara that if there's a spider or something in your house that's bothering you, so of course you can kill it, you can get it out. But if you can avoid killing it directly, it's better to put poison here and let the poison kill it. The best is to take it out of the house, but if that's too hard for some people, so if you have to, you can kill it, you can stomp on it. But it's better for your own midas, your own midah of rachmanis, of chesed, it's better not to kill it directly. So the Gemilas Chasadim extends beyond people, and it goes even to animals as well. So that's the Gemilas Chasadim. So we'll pause here, and our project for this week, I think, will be that we have to realize that chesed is one of, if not the most central theme in Yiddishkeit. Right? Kiva says, so let's every morning, or every night before you go to bed, or when you wake up in the morning, think about what is my chesed project for today. There are so many people that, I think did I say here once? I think I said that when Rav Schechter came, so I parked in the youngest parking lot. I was walking across the street to go to the base Spanish there, and there was someone I saw that I wasn't sure if I knew him. And I'm still new here, so I'm not sure if did I know the guy, did I not know the guy? So I said, good morning. And he was very happy. I said, going back to me. Happy to be I met him once. He came to the shtibur once. I met him. So I heard from two people later, a week later, he was so impressed that I said good morning to him. I think myself, I only said it because I wasn't sure. It was one of those awkward moments that you're not sure, doesn't know you. So I err on the side of making a fool of myself and being nice to a person I don't know, which is a horrible error, right? So, and it makes such a roshim on him, and it just goes to show how a small thing like good morning with a smile could go a long way. So I think it really behooves all of us that the night before you go to bed, or we'll make up in the morning if you're on the way to shul, think, what is my chesed project for today? That doesn't mean I'm going to go and spend 5 hours. It could be a good morning. I'm going to say good morning with a smile to 3 people this morning in shul after davening or before on the way. You can't go out anyway and say good morning to someone before davening, but I'm going to say good morning. I'm going to smile. I'm going to invite a family for Shabbos Suda. I'm going to go out. It's going to be a small thing, but every day for the next 7 days, let's have a chesed project and think about what we're going to do that day for chesed in order to make sure that we'll get the schar HaKadosh Baruch Hu Rachmanas Sanos. Let's start off Shaloi Lishma, right? There are things that we want in life that we don't deserve. We don't deserve anything really, but the things we don't deserve that we want. So my kavanah will be, I hope HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mida Keneged Mida will give me that thing, and therefore I'm going to do one small act of chesed every day. That'll be our project for this week.